Chapter 24. A School Secret. Peter was currently running around the school looking for Quinn or Vorden. For some reason, both of his new friends had suddenly started acting very strange and Peter didn't know what to do about it. His life at his previous school had been hell and he did everything he could to serve those above him. And for the first time ever he had made friends that protected him. Quinn, even though he was a low level himself, had stood up for Peter and Vorden, who had not only protected him but helped him learn his new ability. Something had happened to Vorden and suddenly he was acting strange. Although Peter had no clue what was going on with Quinn, he had some idea about what had changed Vorden. It was after whatever had happened at the assembly hall with the second-year students. But no matter who he would talk to about it, not one person would give him an answer. Some even began to threaten him. That's when Peter could hear a familiar voice. While walking down the hallway, Peter could hear someone speaking, a voice he recognized. As he turned the corner, he saw that it was indeed Vorden. Vorden stood there staring idly at the ground. Peter quickly hid back around the hallway corner. So far, whenever Peter had spotted Vorden, he would just ignore him and walk away without even speaking to him, but now it sounded like Vorden was speaking to someone else. "Would you two calm down?" Vorden said. There was then a brief pause before Vorden spoke again. "I don't care if he hurt the little one's feelings, it's not like Quinn isn't allowed to talk to other people." Again, there was a slight pause. "Look, if you get involved and hurt them, I won't forgive you. I won't let something like last time happen again." The whole time Peter was listening into the conversation, the only voice he could hear was Vorden's, but it was clear that he was speaking to someone. Peter couldn't take it anymore and decided to take a peek, and as he did, still the only person he could see was Vorden. Did the other person leave already? Peter thought. Just then he saw Vorden start to walk off. The bell had rung, indicating that it was the end of their lunch break and it was time to head to afternoon classes. That's when the library doors opened and Quinn and Layla appeared out walking together. "Quinn," Peter said as he waved him over. "I'll meet you at the front gate tonight once classes are over," Quinn said to Layla before leaving to join Peter. The two of them then started to walk off to class together. "Hey, are you okay, man?" Peter asked. "I was worried about you when you suddenly bolted out of the room like that." "Yeah, sorry man, I couldn't hold it in any longer, otherwise my underwear would have turned brown." Whoa, too much information," Peter said. "Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. Look, I'm really worried about Vorden. Ever since he came back from that assembly hall, he's been acting strange." Quinn placed his hand on Peter, seeing that he was clearly startled. This whole time Quinn had more important things to worry about, but now that he had leveled the most pressing matter, he had time to focus on other things. "Don't worry, we'll find out what's going on together." When they entered their next class, they could see that Vorden was already in his seat, sat down, ready even before them. "Oh hey guys, how you doing?" Vorden said with a smile. Peter went to sit in his seat to the right of Vorden while Quinn went to sit in his seat to the left of Vorden. "Hey, are you feeling better?" Peter asked. "Earlier it seemed like you were kinda sulking." "Yeah, don't worry, I just got kinda thrown around a bit by the second years and it got me pretty down," Vorden replied. "What happened at the assembly hall?" Quinn asked. Then Vorden's face slightly changed. It was as if he was trying to hold something back. Vorden clenched his fist for a few seconds and finally relaxed his hand. "Guys, don't worry about it too much, you know I'm strong and know I can handle myself." Although Peter was quite satisfied now with Vorden, as he seemed to be his regular self, Quinn noticed that Vorden seemed to be holding something back, almost suppressing something when he asked that question. As other students started to enter the classroom, when they saw Vorden, they immediately started to whisper. If Vorden would look back at them, they would turn their head as soon as possible. As the students sat down, the talks continued and several different words could be heard. Monster, freak, weirdo, crazy, and all these words were being aimed at Vorden. It was as if the whole school was sharing a secret that Peter and Quinn weren't allowed to know, and not even Vorden himself would say what had happened. After hearing these words, Quinn noticed that Vorden stayed there motionless with his head down. He hadn't even written any notes down in his notebook about the lesson. Although it seemed like no one would tell him or Peter what had happened, Quinn now had another ally that might be able to help him, and that was Layla. At the end of class, the teacher Dell projected a screen in front of the whole class. There was a list of names, each sorted into a different category. Please look at this carefully and see where your name is, as tomorrow will be the start for your combat classes, Dell explained. The list was split up into several different categories. Each one was different depending on what type of ability you had. Elemental abilities, transformation abilities, enhancement abilities, and so on. That's when Quinn also noticed that his and a few other names were not on the list, including Vorden's. If your name is not on the list, it's because either your ability doesn't fall into one of the categories or you are an original with a unique ability. You are free to choose to go to whichever class you believe suits you. Students are also able to switch between combat classes if they wish. These are not set in stone but the school's recommendation based on your ability. The list of available classes was then sent to each student's wristwatch, where they were to register for the type of class they would be interested in. I wonder what combat class would be best for me, Quinn thought as he looked at the long list.